In today's edition of Louisiana Carry, rambling about various gun-related topics, we have a shooting range box. I've run into several new forum members that have been asking what types of things should I buy to be able to clean my weapon. Some people wonder what types of things they should keep with them in their truck or at the range in case they need maintenance, what's worth having, what's worth bringing around, what's not really. You got to find what's best for you. This is what's best for me. I thought I'd make a little video to share with some new shooters. A basic kit that they can put together that'll help them do a little bit of maintenance and the cleaning that they need for their weapons. I choose a MTM case guard shooting range box. This particular box has a spot in the top for all of your small parts, and then the whole top sets aside and it turns into a stand that you can set your rifle on while you clean it. Now, it has some small trays in the front. You're going to need bore brushes and a jag at least for whatever kind of firearm you have. I have an AR-15, and what's good for that is a chamber brush. You put that on a handle, and from the back of your upper you push it in and turn it around in the chamber to clean things out. There's a chamber mop that you can use to wipe the oils out when you're done. You're going to need some bristle brushes, some bore brushes. You put your solvents on there and run them down through. I've got a jag and a brush for my 45 caliber, some patches for my 45. I have another box full of patches for my 223. I have a couple of pocket-sized containers of break-free CLP. You can put that in your pocket, and if your AR is running dry at a course or during the range, you can just pull it out, squirt some more oil in it, and keep going. That'll solve a lot of problems without having to do more maintenance, especially on ARs. There's a tray on the other side for some small parts. A bore snake is a good thing to have. That's this right here. You can just run it through the bore real quick with some oil on it after the range if you don't have time to clean it right away, and that'll get at least some of that stuff out of there. That'll prevent any corrosion and whatnot. I keep a couple of spare magazine followers, sight tool. This is a pretty useful thing if you're wanting to adjust the front sight on your AR. I keep a broken shell extractor in the kit. You can put that up in the chamber and use it to grab that. I have a bore light. You can put this in the bore, shine your flashlight on one side, and it uses fiber optics to direct the light up through there so you can make sure that your bore is good and clean. I have a couple of patches for my shotguns. I have some thread lockers, some spare caps to my spray tubes in case I need them. I have some lens cloths and some oil cloths to wipe off my optic lenses and to wipe off the outside of my firearm. This particular case, you probably can't see it all that well, has some holes in the top to organize your bits for your screwdriver so that you can do maintenance in the field. I have an OtterBox that keeps all of my small AR parts dry and free from rust and whatnot. I have about 2 of every little spring and detent and pin that you would find on an AR, so I could fix myself and maybe a buddy at the range's AR if we need to. Not everyone is as particular as me about cleaning, but I like to have plenty of Q-tips around so I can really get into all those nooks and crannies. I have a spare container for some bits to use on just about anything. I've got a custom bit that I ground down from a bit driver to get that little nut on the front sight for most aftermarket Glock sights. I have a DPMS armorer's tool for an AR. It has the wrenches that you would need for the various nuts on there. It's got a spot for a torque wrench, and there's other tools that are a little bit better, but instead of buying a whole lot, this is a good universal tool. It's good to have a knife around to scrape things with if you need to. Of course, you're going to need brushes. It's good to have at least one copper brush and one nylon brush that has a big side and a small side to get into everywhere that you would need to get into. I have a handle to put my 45 caliber brushes on to clean it out with. I've got some drift punches in case you need to do any maintenance. You're going to need punches of a few different sizes to work on a lot of things that might happen with an AR. I have a stripper clip. If you take the little brass insert out of the inside of this, I have found that it's a real good size to put a 45 caliber patch on spray some oil on it, and stick it in your bolt carrier where the tail of the bolt usually sits to get all the carbon out of the inside of that. Now, besides that, have this is a rod guide. You stick it in the back of your AR upper, and you push the cleaning rod down there through the bore, and it keeps the oils from dripping back into the chamber, and it just keeps all the grit flowing in the right direction. There's a little O-ring on here that seals it up good so that your rod is coming from the back all the way into the bore and out the other side without mess getting everywhere. And then, especially for Glock owners, but it also works for a lot of stuff on AR, I have a couple of Glock Armorer's tools. It's just a punch with a easy-to-use handle on it. Just those little bit of things are about all you need to take care of a lot of different things on a lot of different weapons. You don't need a fancy toolkit. You just need a few basics. This isn't meant to be a video for people that have been shooting for 30 years. This is something just to show new folks what's a few good things to have around with them. Now, since I use this particular MTM case guard box, you can take the lid off. You can put these supports on either side. Use it as a rifle rest while you're out there at the range. Since I'm a Glock fan, I use a Glock Armorer's mat. Just a good spot to be able to disassemble everything and set it on while you clean it. I have a container of some pipe cleaners. I have some regular kinds, and then the kind that have some steel bristles in them to really clean everything out of the holes and nooks and recesses, the gas key and whatnot on an AR. I have a container that has spare Glock parts, batteries for some things that I have that use those, some spare bristle brushes and whatnot in case I drop, lose, or wear out any of the ones that I have. I have extra Q-tips and patches. This is a regular old bottle brush from Walmart. You can use it to clean out your upper, get all the grit out of there. It's not absolutely necessary, but I like to clean things really well. Now, also in here, I have some break-free powder blast gun cleaner, some Rusty Duck gun action cleaner, and some gun scrubber. Now, there's a lot of people that have been shooting forever that's going to say, don't buy any of that stuff, just get some brake cleaner. That's fine. That's not the wrong way. I personally know that this stuff is residue-free. It does a real good job of blasting things out of the action. I use different ones at different times, so I have one of each. A couple of more old cloths to wipe everything down when I'm done. You're going to want to have some copper remover and some lead remover. There's some that are kind of universal, but I like to have some good quality stuff. One, the copper remover, you put it on your stuff first, run it down the board to dissolve the copper that's in there. It'll run out as a blue liquid. When you stop seeing the blue, that means you pretty well got it all. And some lead remover, you put that on next, run it down there, and it'll help get any lead residue out. Some foaming bore cleaner. This is some good stuff when you first get done shooting or you're about to start cleaning. You shake it up, take the tube, stick it down in your chamber, fill up your bore with this stuff, and it will be dissolving things while you're maybe disassembling your bolt carrier and whatnot. I have some break-free carbon cutter. This is real good to put on your bolt and any other place that's got some built-up residue. It does a good job of dissolving that stuff. I like having the copper remover and the lead remover both in a bottle that you can drip right onto a patch and in a jar that you can dip your brushes down in. Just makes the job easier. You don't have to have more than one container of each thing. And that's pretty much it. You can adapt this kit to, use what's best for you. This just happens to be what's best for me. You don't need a whole lot of stuff to clean and maintain weapons. It's really just a matter of paying attention and doing your job right. This isn't a video about how to clean everything. It's just a quick video for new shooters to give them an example of what kind of kit or box they could put together to throw in their truck. So I hope that these things that were helpful to me end up being helpful to you. Either way, clean firearm is generally a properly functioning firearm. It's always fun to shoot. Some people don't think it's fun to clean, but you need to do both if you want to have a happy day at the range.